welcome to effectively my co-host, Berkey.
Hi, Stream.
We're just getting everything underway, and the drivers are making their way round to the holding area, and I'll let Berkey explain the rules of the event as they see people lining up over here.
We're getting our first viewers in. Yep, so we're getting... The drivers just come around in their cars just now, just getting lined up ready in the holding area, just by that little white building. And what they're essentially going to do for this evening is they're all going to take a one-shot lap around the Goodwood circuit, and we're going to see who can go fastest. We've got cars from across the different eras. We've got rally cars, we've got classics, we've got a couple of road cars, we've got a Porsche Carrera Cup car that Alex is driving this evening, perfectly liberated as always, and working our way up we've got GT4, GT3, and of course the LMP ones and the Group C cars, that lovely John Player special car sitting there from Comrade. Just setting a couple of things up, Plux, if you wanted to...
Yeah, I am doing the same actually. I was taking the opportunity, but we will be having Glover Barnett, who will be starting first. He's just waiting for the track clear message, but like I said, we've got a couple of things to set up here in race control. We'll be having Glover Barnett in the Ford Focus rally spec car. Well, it's a kind of a rally cross spec car. So we'll be having that. This car has got a huge amount of power, I believe around 500 horsepower. So it's very much towards the kind of Group B, Rallycross spec. And then in the holding area we have Spooky Lukey in the 555 liveried Time Attack Subaru Isle of Man with its fancy DRS wing.
Alright, so if you're ready to go, Plux, I'm pretty much ready to go, so I'll give Barnett the message.
Indeed, let's do it.
Right, track clear. Let's see what Barnett can do. He revs that engine. The first man to set off around the classic Goodwood circuit.
Here we go, just waiting.
I think he's just getting a couple of things set. And that Scalextric's livery, I remember him saying. So this is a throwback to an early rally car.
Should be getting it. Here we go.
Here's the revs. And away he goes. Sets off down to turn one. He's been complaining in practice that the Focus is actually a little bit oversteery. Not unexpected from a rally car, but he's making use of that four-wheel drive system as he goes around.
It does have one particular advantage, the fact that this has a variable differential, so he can set the car to be around 50-50 power at the start, and then change back to more rearward brake bias as he goes around the track, wanting to get better turn-in as he heads through St Mary's now, up towards Levant. And he's got a nice lap so far.
Yeah, very clean and tidy. This is the trickiest corner, probably I think for most of our drivers are going to struggle there into Levant, and then rolling the car through, just clipping the grass, making use of those rally tyres.
Absolutely. If any car tonight is going to be able to deal with the grass, it's going to be this one. As we head now into Woodcote.
A very tidy lap.
Gets out on that, shifts down to get the power now through the chicane. This is very tricky. Don't hit that.
Chicane.
Gets a good lap.
Very good there.
Stays on the right.
Very, very good.
It's an excellent
powers
lap.
out through the line. What's he set there?
He's set 118.131. I've got that as. And we're now seeing Spooky Lukey move up into the position. Of course, all the cars will have to do a little bit of tyre warming.
We've got Gary making his way up as well.
Oh yes, of course. That's another rally car. This is going to be a fun one to talk about.
So this one's a time attack car with a DRS as well. He's got enabled.
He does indeed.
He's been looking forward to that. I know for sure. Right. So let me just put the track clear message up. It is. You just confirm that for me, Plux, the track is clear?
Track is almost clear. Track is... I'd say it's clear now. Yep. Track is clear. No way in. Chances of...
Builds the revs.
And again, this is another car with a variable differential, so he'll be able to like Barnet, but you can see already he's deploying that DRS. We've got the telemetry up on screen on my stream. There's a big kick of oversteer there as he gets it through turn 1 and 2, which is a very difficult corner actually, Madwick. As we head up towards Fordwater, through there.
See that DRS open again.
Yeah, he'll have that open all the way around this first section of the lap until he hits the brakes. You see it snap down, give him more downforce as we head back through St Mary's. Very deceptive corner.
Hard on the brakes. Do Levant.
The Levant straight. Tidy lap again here from Spooky.
And the drivers have really obviously put their practice in. Not seeing any mistakes yet.
2 seconds up currently on Barnett's time. So just to quickly explain a few more of the rules of this competition. This competition isn't just about who's got the fastest overall lap. There's also a average lap or best performance championship. So whoever manages to set as he crushes that opening gambit from Barnett.
3 seconds quicker.
That's an excellent lap time. He'll be running around now.
I'd be very happy with that.
He should be very happy. That was a great time. So, like I say, it's also about which driver can perform best in their car against the marker lap times, and who can have the best percentage under that. So here is Gary, as we call him, in the Audi. Just going to quickly change our camera view. We'll get different views for this one on my stream. But talk us through the Audi Quattro S1, Berkey.
It's a beautiful classic rally car, isn't it? It's the Group B. It's one of the finest Group B cars I think we've got out there. It's very aggressive. And I think Gary in that car is going to really put through a really good time. It's going to maybe put him up to the top of the timesheet. I think if we're going to have one driver in a car like this, I'm glad it's Gary. I think he's going to really make good use of it. So let's see what he can do.
Yep, here we go. So he deploys all the power. This is the most powerful Group B car in the field. It's much more powerful than the Ford, but of course it's an older spec car, and it goes right out to the limits there through turn 1.
Yeah, he's really pushing it.
But this car is of course the evolution after the first generation Quattro, which dominated World Rally in its first season. This is the 1985 spec car.
The pitch.
Lots and lots of roll. You can see that 80 suspension there, really showing its end.
Creaking under the brakes, yeah.
But one of the things that this car did bring along, compared to its predecessor, was a lot of lightning within the chassis. They took away a lot of the steel components and replaced them with aluminium and Kevlar. And you can see it's just a little bit more nimble than if you watch those old videos of the original Quattros. Ducks it in nicely, but a lot of pitch as we go through the chicane.
Spoiler's basically on the ground, scraping.
He gets it through, gets on the power hard, stays right. What will this be? It's going to be slower, but it was quicker than Barnet by a
quicker than Barnet, goes into second
place, only 8/10 down. When you consider that car is comparatively old,
40 years old compared to that
almost 35-year-old car. It's quite incredible.
It's a great lap from Gary there. Again, another really tidy one, but pushing it a little bit, getting the back end out, which is what we're expecting to see from these rally cars. It's really giving a little bit more excitement, and the speed's going to keep building.
Indeed it will.
So we've got Rocker up next in the Ford GT. The only road car that we've got tonight, but beautifully liveried as always.
I believe this is a special Goodwood tribute livery.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could get a camera angle of it, but we'll have to wait till it goes round. Track is clear, so just ping that message. Just see Gary disappearing in the background. He's off straight away.
This is our first rear-engine car. You can see that rear wing pop up and the active aero.
Yeah, under braking.
Keeping the
Oh,
Ford
it's a
GT's
very...
tail a little bit, but we've had three quite controlled, hardcore setup cars, and now we've got effectively a road car. As much as it's a very fast road car, and also this is our first car to be using sports tyres. Road cars and historic cars will be running sports tyres tonight, so we will expect to see a little bit of drop off in terms of speed, but this is still excellent work by Rocker in the Ford GT.
It's really a race car for the road, isn't it, really? Ooh, yeah, very tail happy there.
This car, of course, was mostly designed for Ford having another crack at Le Mans in 2016 after their previous victory in 1966 to 1970.
Hard on the brakes, or a little bit wide.
Oh, a little bit wide. Can he gather it up? He's going to be using
he keeps it together.
That will cost him
that
a little
wing pops
bit of time,
up again.
But he does get a good run through there. As I was saying, 66 to 69, not 70, sorry. And it won on its debut, and as we can see, 1:25 there from Rocker, so a respectable lap time.
Yep, I think
much more difficult car to drive than what we've seen.
A very bold
going.
choice, I think, from Rocker, and I think that mistake just in the last couple of corners, that's what's cost him there his lap time. It must have said actually, we had our Canadian friend do a lap earlier today. He couldn't sadly join us this evening for the live event, but he did a lap in the Camaro Z01, which Flux, I'm sure you're aware of, is the last hurrah for the Camaro. And he put down a 1:26. So for another road car running same tyres, similar spec, all power, big wing on the back, he had a similar time.
It's surprising. Definitely a bit of a surprise there, but they are very kind of different ends of a scale there. But now we've got the opposite, kind of the forefather of the car that's just gone round. We've got Gadget 334 in the Ford Mark IV that famously won in 1967 at Le Mans. No, yes, at Le Mans. This the first all-American made Le Mans winning car. And it does look strikingly different from the original Ford GT40.
It's amazing how much they developed this car and created aero before we had wind tunnels. Really, this car's a real forefather of modern racing.
Yeah, very much so.
It looks beautiful in that yellow livery. That heavy engine, you can hear it shouting away.
Yes, indeed. Gadget has put a lot of work into his setup for this event, and you can see the car looking very controlled. As I say that, it does have a bit of a step-out moment, but he's put a lot of work into this car, including the gearbox, which is a bit of a faff to get right around here, because it is geared for Le Mans normally, so it has to be dropped a lot, but it picks up a lot of acceleration. Nice line there from Gadget.
Oh, lovely line from Gadget.
Steps out a little bit over the curb, but gathers it up nicely. Now through the chicane, a little bit wide on entry. That keeps it safe. And slightly missing his gear change, but it is a good lap time. That'll be a 1:21.9. Slots himself 3 seconds ahead, I believe, of Rocker's lap.
Yeah, I think so. As far as I can tell.
So, in a battle of Ford versus
classics.
Ferrari, we will now have the Ferrari P4 330 driven by Jules. And he'll just be lining up on the track now. As we are having a little bit of grid rotation here, just as we have got more drivers than than spots at the moment, but we'll keep everyone abreast of the times.
See if those drivers are going to make a move before I release Jules, if they're going to come round and get round on the track.
I think we could use this as a chance to allow them onto the track, so we'll hold everyone here and we'll get them round before Jules sets off.
Let me just write that in the chat.
And I'm just going to ask everyone in chat. I've got a few people in chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Sad you can't be driving tonight, but who do you think's going to set the most surprising lap time? Whether that be fast or slow? I'd like to hear your tips for that. And also, who do you think's going to take overall honours? And who do you think is going to win the best performance? So let me know your picks for that. And which car also you're most excited to see go around this legendary circuit. And I guess I'll also throw that to you, Berkey. Who do you think's going to run a surprisingly good lap time, do you think?
A surprisingly good lap time. Well, I think I know you're in the commentary box with me and you're going to jump out on track a bit later, but I think you're in the Zonda R this evening as far as I'm aware.
Yep.
I think you're going to give a bit of a challenge to some of those LMP1s and Group C cars. I think they're going to be surprised by how close it's going to be, I think. So that's one. And I think another one could be Awesome Alex in the 911 GT3 RS. A really good fun car to drive. And he does know that car very well, so he's got the opportunity there to be really, really quick. Jules obviously raring to go. He's flashing the lights. Off he goes at Ferrari 330 P4.
Very much kind of the opposite end of the design philosophy at that time. Jules has given it a bit too much.
Very...
Can he gather it up? Good catch there from Jules, who will have to work hard now to get it back in that beautiful livery. And so what I was saying there before Jules decided to have a little bit of a moment. This car was all about light. It was very fragile, but it was very agile in the corners, while still being very fast down the straight. But it wasn't the kind of sledgehammer that Ford built. They built, a big burbling V8, well, this had its roaring, screaming V12. And really, what we found was this car was probably faster over a lap at Le Mans, but unfortunately fell foul of the classic. You build something a bit fragile at Le Mans, it will let go in the end, and by the end, I believe, halfway through the race, all the Ferrari P4s were out, and it allowed Ford to take that famous 1-2-3 victory, which was, of course, very contentious.
Yeah. I think we all know the fabled story well, but this is still a gorgeous car to look at. Again, before aerodynamics were really a thing, but just beautiful to look at. And unfortunately, a little bit of an untidy lap from Jules this time, so he won't be making a stamp on the leaderboard.
No, but that's okay. These things do occur. We are, of course, not professionals. But definitely...
Some of us like to pretend we are, I believe.
Possibly. I couldn't possibly know who you're referring to. But as we've got Tom Nixon in the Aston Martin.
A last-minute entry.
The old Jag didn't start, so we've got out the Aston Martin instead.
Another British brute, but slightly different, I think we'd say. It's a shame not to see the XJ13 on the track, but this is another classic. another Le Mans GT winner.
Yeah, it was a
Well,
GT
not
winner.
Yep. Track's clear, so I'll just post that message up. And let's see what Tom can do. I've had minimal practice in the car.
And probably minimal chance for putting a setup on it. But this car, in its natural form, when it's not BOP'd, it's actually pretty handy. It gets quite nerfed by the BOP. As it runs a bit wide. Another one to just push it a little bit hard. It's so easy to do here.
It's a very deceiving corner.
You do have the double apex there at Madgwick. As we head up towards Ford Water. Here comes the aerodynamic grip now. It's a bit of a brute, like you say, at low speed, but as the aerodynamic downforce builds, it does get a little bit easier to drive. But we won't be expecting fireworks.
A little bit understeery when I've driven it. A little bit understeery. That was a surprise, actually. But it keeps it. It should make it slightly more usable for Tom, given his limited experience in the car. So let's see what he can put together in this lap. I think he's probably going to go to the top of the time sheet.
More than likely. Although Spooky's lap was excellent, and he very well might hold on to that.
Oh, a lovely line through that last couple of corners.
I think Spooky's going to hold on to this. I think this could be a 1:17.
I don't have the timings up on my screen.
1:18, sorry, I was a little bit out there, but a 1:18.2. That is a good run there from Tom, when you consider limited time to practice the car, and that little error at the start.
Right,
Look who is next. We've got Nightmare in the SLS AMG.
Yeah.
It's a car which doesn't normally get run too often, but it is a fabulous looking car. You see already he's got the rear of that car jacked up to try and alleviate the understeer problem that this car quite often has.
It's looking very different to how we normally see it, but we can see that Nightmare set out for Goodwood. Just ping the message.
That burbling, thunderous.
Sounds beautiful, doesn't it?
Oh, big kick of
lots of tyre smoke.
Oh,
and a drift.
Definitely goes for it there. Oh, and it's a third person in a row to just push it a little hard into turn one. We're definitely starting to see some of the competitive spirit of our drivers.
The driver's room.
Trying to just get as much as possible at turn one. But a little bit too much again. Another understeery group. It's a GT3 car in reality. The Aston Martin, of course, was a GT1 car, but Gran Turismo, in its infinite wisdom, has put them in the same class. And they are very different sort of cars, but you could say this is the kind of the more brute force of the GT3 cars. The big V8 in the front, long nose.
The classic GT car look, I think.
Yeah, definitely so. With its stupendously silly doors.
Yes. Almost as silly as that wing. It's a shame we can't see them open.
Yeah, to be fair, there was, I do believe, a couple of races where those doors did fail to close, and you had drivers having to drive around with the door in the air because they couldn't actually get the door back down once they were belted in.
Lovely extra bit of aero there for your fast corners.
Indeed. There's Nightmare there. Puts in a solid time there of a 1:20.1, and again, when you consider the small error he made, the Scania liveried SLS did a very good job.
I'm not expecting to see the NSX here.
Yeah, that does seem a little early for the NSX.
So maybe we'll see that disappear.
I believe next up is Rebs in the Megane. So, yep.
I've got Rebs in the Megane, yep.
Yeah, Kuska's just going to go round.
Glad we've got our drivers are on the ball. But it gives us a chance to look at this Marlboro liveried NSX. This classic Super GT car.
There's a little bit of a taste for what's to come later.
I think this is going to be very tasty.
It's going to be a very spicy lap, I think. This car may surprise some people. Much unloved in some of the Drivers' Room series. It's only, I believe, ever been picked once in the Ace-Lift Design Endurance Championship.
Yep.
I think it was used a little bit in Drivers' Room Festival Speed. When there was tuning allowed, a lot of drivers found a bit more use with it. But we'll talk a little bit more about it later. Revs needs to back up one grid spot.
Yep.
He's currently not quite in the right positioning.
Just mark him in the chat. I think he's worked it out. There we go. He has worked out. Or just he must have felt the noise.
Yes.
Or maybe he's watching the stream.
I think that may also be possible.
Well done, Revs.
10 out of 10
so
Revs.
we're 10 out of 10 for Revs on the organisation. Right, so we're ready to watch that Megane go around the... now.
So
The only Group 4 car we've got here tonight, but I think it's going to be quicker than some people think. I think we can see this go near the top
Oh, definitely.
right now.
It's a very good car, especially when you take all the weight that's unfortunately put in it when it's BOP'd. This is a tasty little car. Of course, is the Megane Trophy car. This was used in real life and really follows that classic Renault philosophy of take a hatchback
Lightness.
and stick an engine in the middle of it. That's usually their trick. They did it, of course, with the Clio and made a cup car out of that, and now they've made a trophy car out of this. And it is stunning to look at. It's amazing what a wing and a mid-engined layout does to a car with a big
To a little
aero body.
hatchback.
Yeah, it's a fabulous looking car and drives basically like a big go-kart.
Yep. See what Revs can put together in terms of a lap time.
Indeed.
It's looking tidy.
It does look very tidy
Just at the
so far.
moment.
Not quite sure what his sectors match up with Spooky's. And I shall actually quickly click to that, and the next when we're in the waiting for the next driver to come by, it would be interesting to see what they look like in comparison.
A little bit tail happy into that
Yeah,
big
it looks
stop
like
in
maybe
the area.
got that a little bit. Oh,
the
just pulls
chicane
it up in
nearly
time.
catches him out.
But a great recovery there from Revs. It was a pretty good lap, a 1:21.5, so that puts him just ahead of Gadget, I believe, in the old Ford Mark IV. I think they have a similar time, but I'm currently not noting down the times.
Let's see if we can find. Have we got Alec? I've got Flapjack up next.
Flapjack next.
I think I'm going to have to leave you shortly, Flux, and go out on my own.
Reconnaissance lap. Oh, Jack has decided to kind of full start there a little bit, but until you cross the line, you are allowed to do a little practice start if need be. If you're not happy with your launch and you can get it pulled up in time, there's nothing in the rules that say you can't go for a second go, but here goes Jack.
Off he goes.
On his lap. Gets up to third gear quite early. And this, of course, is the Ferrari 458 GT3. A very similar car. Whoa!
Ooh, very tail happy.
Very tail happy. Clip that grass, and that, I believe, is going to be lap over for Jack. He'll finish the lap, but you can see he's weaving
Watch him
it
round. Frustration definitely there.
That's a shame. I was just about to say, this is a very good car on the front end. He usually struggles with tyre wear and that sort of thing, but launches very well and is very good on fuel, I believe. So it's a very good race car if you can get it working, but it's very hard to look after the tyres for it. But a good job by Jack to recover it. Unfortunately, the lap will be a little bit spoilt now.
But, a real shame, because he's running the, I believe, the championship winning the RFS livery.
Yes,
the Drivers' Room Festival of Speed. This is almost the celebration of that championship that the team put together. So a bit of a shame he's not been able to really pull together the lap. But let's see what he's going to get out of it anyway.
As He does a 122.0.
I know Jack will be upset by that one.
Yeah, definitely could have been into the mid-teens. Probably could have challenged for the overall time, but currently Spooky Lukey still owns the fastest lap.
Top.
That's a great drive by him.
We've got a message in the chat earlier from Spooky, so from his friend Hatton, who's woo Spooky. Right, so I'm now going to head out on track. So if you could do the track clear for Alex, and then I'll...
I will do indeed.
I'll run it. Thank you.
Let's try and make sure I can see if it is clear.
If you're watching on my stream, you'll now see my McLaren go out on track.
Here we go. So we'll let you head out. I'm just going to make sure everyone but you is clear. I believe they are.
Send Alex first and I'll drive round.
Okay. And Alex launches away in the Porsche Carrera Cup car. This was used in this livery in the Drivers' Room Carrera Cup Championship. It's about 480 horsepower and about 1080 kilos with that, of course, classic rear engine layout. A little bit of downforce, not an awful lot. The real Carrera cars have got a little bit more downforce than what we're running here, but it's definitely the aesthetic that we're looking for here. And this has been a tidy lap here by Alex so far. This car does feel very fast in comparison to how it does stock. And of course he's got the racing hard tyres on, so he should be feeling pretty good out there. Just got to control that oversteer on corner entry, because of course the rear engine layout does produce a pendulum effect, so he'll probably be running negative brake bias to just settle that car down. Out into the penultimate corner, tidy on the entry, possibly a little early, but a very tidy run so far. This will be a good lap. Into the chicane, gets on the power hard. And this will probably be around a 118 as he's finishing on the wrong side of the track. 119.2. That's a good run there for awesome Alex in the Carrera Cup. So it will be Berkey up next.
Right, so I'm just driving around now. If you could also get Mung out on track if he's not already. You can
Mung
run
is on track, yep.
after me, I think. It's probably the easiest thing to do.
Yes, I'll put that in.
So you're going to get a taste of onboard right now.
I will let you mute your microphone so you can concentrate and not have to worry about commentating on your lap as you go.
Thank you.
And I shall man the ship. So once Mung is round, I shall give you the track is clear, and we'll talk a little bit about that McLaren. We're almost there. Yep, Mung is in position. So, track will be clear. And Berkey is away. Now, of course, this is the McLaren F1 that won Le Mans in 1995. It's the last GT car to have won Le Mans. And it looks resplendent out there in the Harrods livery. Put together at the pretty much the 11th hour by Drivers' Room's only one and only Gooseman Bosk. And it does look resplendent out there in that kind of yellowy orange glow as he runs up through Levant. Nice and tidy so far. This car is a bit of a surprise. Another one where the BOP really kills it in Group 3, but when it's allowed to stretch its legs in kind of the GT1 spec it was designed, this car is rapid. And this should be a car that can knock off Spooky from his perch at the moment. He is purple as he heads up into that final corner. Can he keep it tidy through there? He won't have the four-wheel drive on his side that Spooky did, but he does have a lot of weight, a lot less weight. But a good run out of there as they run up towards the line. He wants to stay on the right. And it's very close, and he does. Takes by half a second, so Berkey is our new leader. That was a cracking lap there.
I'm just going to exit.
Very, very fast indeed. So Mung should be next to run.
Oh, I'm happy with that lap. Could have gone a little bit faster, I think.
Yeah, it all looked very tidy to me. At the end of the day, it's about getting the car round the lap. More so than anything else. Making sure you keep it safe. And
after watching some of the other drivers touch the grass, I think that adds a little bit extra spice to it, doesn't you? Just worried that if you touch that wheel, especially in that McLaren, that's all you need. Is to drop the left rear a little bit, and away you go. Mung needs to just back up a little bit there.
Oh, he does.
He's watching the stream as well, I think. He's backed up. Got himself in the right grid slot. I know he's practicing earlier today. We can look forward to another great lap from Mung. I'll just tell him track clear, in case he's not aware.
There we go. Turbo spools up, and away he goes.
Running the Group X RS01 this evening, because it's the proper race car rather than the BOP GT3 impacted version. So we should see a better turnout from this car than we normally see in Gran Turismo.
It's a car which is wonderful when it's got no fuel and no tyre wear to worry about, but when there's fuel and tyre wear in Group 3 it does sometimes struggle, but this is the as it was in real...
Oh, a little bit!
Just about
he saves it!
Good save.
I was going to say whether he's going to go out like the Duracell bunny, and he's obviously pushing a little bit too hard.
Oh, big step of oversteer there on the exit of Levant. We'll just change our camera views because we've had the same ones for a while. So we're going to run on board if possible, which it's not right now. So we might have to quickly jump out. Oh, Mung runs it deep.
Wide again. Oh no, that's such a shame. And I think he's abandoning the lap.
Abandoning the lap. That is unfortunate. We'll take the opportunity to get hold of some new camera views, because the wonders of Gran Turismo has deserted us there, but I believe it will be Kuska to go next. And then it will be Bottle Job after that.
And Hungarino has abandoned.
Not seeing Bottle Job in the room at the moment. Hopefully Bottle will be entering the room shortly.
Right, so track clear. Oh, he's left. Is that disappointing? Maybe it was a little bit too short a run for Mung. A quick in and out.
Yeah, didn't get a chance to kind of settle down.
As Cuscus is underway. You can see this Marlboro liveried NSX for the second time with a classic Marlboro look.
Very much so. Kind of a bit more red than you'd usually see, but I think that actually really works for it. I think that really does kind of have a little bit more impact than just the usual kind of two slices of red. It's a good looking car.
Yeah, it does remind me of the old McLaren F1 cars from
the mid 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, possibly actually with the more red, it would be kind of the mid 70s look. You had James Hunt.
McLaren then going to work with Honda then, so you can see the livery fitting there.
Yeah, that is indeed true.
Tidy lap from
Oh,
Kuska.
Kuska drops
just
the
as I said
wheel.
that.
We've done another one. Another commentator's curse. A little couple of stabs at the
Oh, and a big slide.
Big slide. But,
We like the big slide.
Oh, he does. He
puts him
tips you
top.
like just the tiniest of margins. And, what a lap there from Kuska to just hold on and nip you at the line there.
I'm not going to say I'm not upset.
It definitely looked to be.
We've got the Fast and the Furious Frog now.
Is the Fast and Furious Frog. We don't expect this car to be anywhere near as fast as the
cars running around it.
Yep, but this is where Frog could run, so this is where we're going to run Frog. And I'll let you talk about this interesting spec R34.
So it's not as you might have been able to see on screen. It's not a stock R34. It's let me just write track clear as I do this. So it's not a stock R34. It's a Fast and Furious spec. Some people might know it as Brian's Skyline, but Frog has a particular affinity with the Skylines and wanted to run one of them, and this is the best car that he had available to him. So this car's got 450 brake horsepower, a little bit of added weight because of the speaker system still in the boot. That if you've seen the films, you'll know very well. But a bit of a hero car, really. It launched the Skyline to the mass market more so than Gran Turismo did. But as we can see there with the setup that Frog's got on, there's a lot of body roll in this one. The four-wheel drive system really being put to work.
He's working hard out there. Definitely a pretty tidy run. It might be a little bit sideways, but I would say not too bad a run when you consider that is effectively a bog standard road car.
With even more weight than the road car.
Even more. Oh no! We've done it again! This is another commentator's curse. Can he keep it out of the barrel? Oh dear.
Oh no! And that's going to be an expensive
second barrier hit of the night. And Frog just
Flashes
pushed that a little too hard, and now he's wide out of there.
It's an exciting run, if not a fast run.
But I'm going to take this opportunity now to go out on track myself and wind up the Zonda for some shenanigans.
Right, I'll just
let me know when I'm clear to exit.
Yeah, if you go around, because I think the other drivers have just gone round before you. So having just had that R34 go round, we've now got Bottle Job in the Calsonic liveried Super GT car. So he's just done a little tyre warm up and he's going to go again. And once Plux has got himself far enough around the track, as we can see in the top right, we'll let Bottle go on his lap. We've got a couple more coming out as well. Let's just run their lap and get round to the holding bay. So once they get round, we'll let Bottle go. Had a really good season in the drivers' room this year, especially in ADEC Championship. He running this car, it's a slightly different livery, so he's managed to find and put together a Calsonic car, well-known classic Skyline livery. But this has been his standout car for the season, so he knows it very well, if not in this form and this colour. So we're expecting a good lap time for Bottle Job. Every car unrestricted for this evening, so running at max power, max boost. So we'll probably hear the turbo run loose quite a lot. So let's just give him the track clear, as it now is, and we'll send Bottle Job on his way. And off he goes. Great start again. He knows how to launch this car from having driven it all year. You hear the turbo popping as it goes around T1. Driver hunkered down inside the car as he goes down towards St Mary's. Really using all of the track. Hard on the brakes as he turns left. You can see the car just pitch a little bit as he puts the brakes on. And a really tidy lap from Bottle Job so far. GTR looking glorious in the Goodwood sun. A winner in Super GT, the top level touring car formula in Japan. Now as he comes around the last couple of corners, a tricky hard braking zone here before he goes up to the chicane. Right, left. And I think this is going to be a really good lap from Bottle Job. He stays right. Really impressive. Straight into the pits. So right now we have our co-commentator Plux. I did drop his name a little bit, so hopefully he doesn't put himself under too much pressure there. But I think this Zonda is very, very good. Hopefully you can still hear me, so I'm just going to say track clear, and you're ready to go when you are. You can hear the engine rev. And away it goes. Good launch. Really revving that V12 all the way out. Running the M4R livery, Plux, the godfather of the driver's room resurgence of the M4R team, made for racing. Running the Pepsi sponsor on this Zonda this evening. Tidy lap so far as it goes to the right and left. See the car pitch, under braking, clipping the apexes nicely. Plux, the champion of ADEC for multiple seasons and the annual champion, just missing out on a final of the year championship, coming second, but undoubtedly one of the fastest drivers in the driver's room. Most skilled. Let's get a really tidy lap here. You're going to see a good time. He might be challenging Bottle Job and top drivers in the faster LMPs and Group Cs. What can he do here? Yes, he goes top again. So we're seeing the lead change multiple times now. We're getting to these fast cars. Flux exits and enjoys himself a little bit of tyre smoke and sliding just before he comes back to the commentary booth. Well done, sir. Just find the next car, JC, we're expecting on track. The Porsche 919 Hybrid, the Le Mans Monster. Just looking at that car now. While we wait for Plux to do his circuit to get back to the pits and come back up to the commentary booth. We're really getting into the business end of the evening now. It's probably I think we've got 5 drivers left to go. They're all LMP or Group C cars. So we're really going to see the times drop now into the low 1 minute 5s. We might see a 1 minute 3 if the drivers manage to put their lap together. Right, track clear, so just write that in the chat. That's going for his full warm down lap. Really enjoying that he's gone top.
Right, well that was spicy.
Well, you put yourself on the leaderboard, number 1.
No, I'm number 2 actually.
You come up number 1 on mine.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. No, I did a 111 Bottle Job with a 109. Didn't quite hook it up on that one, but let's talk about JC and what could be one of the quickest cars tonight. The 919 Audi Slayer, you could say. This car is
the hybrid monster.
Yep. 1.5 seconds up already just through the first sector, and all that really is one corner and a straight. You have the hybrid power to deploy. But,
hard on the brakes.
Keeps it tidy. Now on the power hard. And the Redline Racing livery there. So far, good run there from JC. Nice and tidy. He's 3.5 seconds up.
3.5 seconds up. Wow. These LMP ones really, and the Group C's are really going to show what can be made of a race car. Different ideas. Just goes top on my screen.
Same here, 105.381. That's a cracking lap there by JC.
That is a very good lap. It's a good marker to have set. So now we have Dowlers in the XGR9, a very different way of going fast.
This is definitely the car designed to go fast in a very straight line and then throw a big anchor out the back and hope.
And try and turn it round.
But a very different philosophy. You could even see just things like the driver's cockpit, how much wider that cockpit is. Of course, they're so narrow.
How much higher
now.
he is in the cockpit.
It's amazing how 30 years of design changes how drivers look out the window, you could say. And,
straight underway in the Silk Cut car.
Whoa, big kick of oversteer as he dumps the turbo. Not the turbo, sorry, this is unturbocharged. This is just a big
1,000 horsepower of 1,000 horsepower of just naturally aspirated monster.
And what a magnificent car it is.
Very low to the ground. I think Dowlers has had a setup and been at Goodwood for a little while to make sure he can get this car as good as he can make it.
Good start, but a little bit sideways out there. He's going to have to tidy it up. This is where the Porsche, of course, was very quick with its.
Just as we were talking about, the Jag is great on the straight. Put it in the corner and hope.
Indeed.
Unleash the power again. The noise of that V12. A tricky chicane. Very wide car to try and get through this. It doesn't look so small an angle when you're watching it from our screens, but when you're in the driver's seat, it's very tight.
Oh, that was a 110.5. I had that as a little bit off.
Didn't get the times up on my screen.
Now it's going to be Comrade in the 787B. Very much a kind of people's favourite, this car, the quad-rotor screaming Mazda. And this should be quick as well. Will anyone manage to match JC's 105.3? There's at least one car left on that board I think can get close.
Yeah, I think I know the car you mean. Well, here we go. Hear that rotor go.
There it is. Gets that power down.
This car, a real fan and driver's room favourite.
Indeed.
The JPS livery.
Oh, Conrad just a little bit wide. Could not have been any closer there. And Conrad trying to get some heat back into those tyres, you can see.
Yeah.
First driver we've seen do that. Has it cost him anything over the top? This car,
hard on the
brakes. In the JPS livery. And this really kind of shows what a JPS Mazda could have looked like. JPS sponsorship had kind of died off by the late 80s, replaced by things like Camel, and I believe for players themselves they started using a different moniker.
Brands.
But imagine if we'd got this car on track. In real life, it was a stunning machine. So we head up now. Brakes hard. He's worked hard on those tyres. Can he keep it clean? Just about. Now in through
the tight chicane.
Good run there.
Another good run.
And that is a 108.9 at my checking. That's a great run there. Good work by Mitsos.
Great run from Mitsos.
And now I believe we have
the car that we probably think is the car.
Yeah, we've seen some quite blistering lap times out of Sean, who's put a lot of work and taken this very seriously.
Yep. I know, I think Sean wants to take that trophy home. He's managed to get himself the keys to the car that's going to give him the best shot at it, and he's put the practice in.
This should
once
be
again,
fireworks.
Once again, it looks glorious.
We'll go on board for this one if we can. Give me just a second, everybody.
Just let you do that before I release Sean.
Oh, no, it won't actually let me inside his cockpit, unfortunately, which is a shame. So we'll ride on the nose.
Right. Whilst Plus does that, we'll ride outside. Drops the throttle and off he goes.
The big turbo diesel. I believe it's a V12 diesel, this car. How many cars can you think of that's got a V12 diesel in it?
Diesel? One, I think. And it's the one I'm looking at right now.
An immense high-speed downforce this car has. It suffers at tracks where you have to kind of accelerate compared to the modern cars, but this track, it's so open and flowing, and already he's a tenth and a bit up in Sector 1. Let's see how he runs through the second sector. This is where the Porsche will have it back on him, and he's run a little bit deep there. He's going to have to get it tidied up. That's a much better lap, a better exit than he had entry. Let's see how he looks.
The car is so stiff, you can see it's not moving at all. Changing direction.
And he is not purple at the second split, so he's going to have to find it all in that final sector. Oh, it's again just not quite as tidy as he could have been. He runs it through now, hard on that power. Can he do it? I think not. It's going to be JC. He's still going to have the keys to the kingdom here.
JC got the keys to the kingdom. That is a surprise.
That is a surprise.
Well done
we were
from
expecting JC putting in a good old lap time. And I think we've got our final car. It's going to be the Bossman Racing Porsche, driven by Jagannat, another driver who's had an excellent year in the Acelift Design Endurance Championship, finishing third in Season 6 of Tier 1. Really pushed himself up through the standings and through the tiers, and really looks to be one of those drivers who's there or thereabouts for a potential championship bid in 2021. But he's driving the legendary Porsche 962C. This car, in various guises, is probably the most successful Le Mans car of all time, and he's...
Oh no!
We're
expecting fireworks at the end.
And he's got fireworks at the beginning. He's got to try and get that car under control. It's such a hard car to start. It's got to be so careful.
I wonder if these cars have suffered on just waiting with their tyres going cold.
Yeah, the lap times are looking a little slower than one was expecting. But that is an exceptionally pretty car, and he didn't put a dent in it, luckily. So what can he do? He runs through.
Can he rescue this lap?
Can he keep it close to the other Group C car lap times? And, very much so. We've managed to commentators curse everybody tonight who's looked promising or had a good season or this, that, t'other. Everyone seems to have been a little bit thrown out of kilter there. There we go. Down. Oh, just gets it, pulled it up. And actually, probably that was really fast because of it, because he got a nice wide entry. Now gets on that power hard out the final corner. What's it going to be? It's going to be above a 113, maybe a 114. It is a 114.1 for Jagannat.
Wow.
A good recovery after a slightly scruffy lap. But I believe that is everybody run. So, thank you.
We have one request from Mungino in the RS01 to have another go.
Alright, I think that's only
Let's
fair.
give him another go.
Let's have one last try. Can I have another go too? What?
I think you're not going to get any better than you did have.
Okay.
But let's let Mungino have another go. We put him in a little bit quick. He jumped in the room and he was straight out on track. So let's. He's got himself settled. He's got himself ready to go, and let's give him another go. He didn't run the full lap. And being the driver's driver of 2020,
that is
true.
true.
Give him a send off that he probably would have wanted.
And, you know, with his Maverick from Top Gun style helmet design, you can see it poking through the Renault's windscreen there.
Oh. Repeat of last time. Just picks the wrong grid box, but
Nah, I think he maybe just
sets it up.
He runs it a little long so he can set it up nicely. So let's see what he can do this time around in the RS01.
When you're ready, Mung, off you go.
There comes the turbo
Great
now.
start again.
Good start. That's where you pull. Oh, pushes it hard.
It
It's
runs
round
all the
wide.
way.
Oh!
Oh no.
I think he should, whatever he does, finish this lap, get a time on the board.
Get the time on the board, have fun, enjoy the circuit. Everyone's watching you cruise that beautiful liveried car around.
It's a tricky thing to manage to do here. Put it all on the line in one lap. Very, very, very aggressive into St Mary's.
Yep.
But you can get away with it with a mid-engine car like this. You can run it very, very deep into corners, and they usually look after you. It's about the exit of these cars.
All drift on the way in. Comes down to the hard, heavy braking zone. Through the chicane and keeps it to the right. Crosses the line with
a flourish.
Beautiful pirouette.
Well, I think that's how everybody run. So
yep, I think that is from me as well. So we have JC as our winner.
Yes, JC in the Porsche 919, and maybe a slightly surprising winner after we'd seen some blistering lap times from Sean, but definitely a worthy winner, and a great lap from him gives him the P1 award. And we'll have to do a little bit of digging to find out who set the best lap compared to the testing laps. I can tell you for one, it wasn't me. I was about 4/10 slower than the average testing lap, and about 8-9 tenths slower than my personal testing lap, and about a second and a half off what I could have done. So it's not going to be me. But anyway, thank you very much to everyone who's come along to watch, everyone who took part. And thank you to yourself, Berkey, for setting this up and putting the idea together. And that was a great little stream to have, and a nice little event to kind of celebrate everyone's love for cars in the community.
And well done to JC. JC is now out on track doing donuts.
Well, I mean, it's only right.
The only way to do it, really.
I might have to go and join him.
I think a couple of other drivers have seen what he's up to and are jumping on board as well. But that's it from us this evening. Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it as much as the drivers did. Just watch your winner JC go round on a celebratory lap. But thanks a lot, and we'll see you again next time.
Indeed, indeed. And so it's going to be me signing off from my stream, and thank you again to everyone who joined in, and we'll catch you again soon.
Ciao.